Hi everyone. So welcome back to another design breakdown that I'll be doing on my channel today. So we're gonna be doing a design breakdown on the flyer that you're seeing right now on your screen, and the processes of how the background was created, how everything came about, and the result that I was able to get from this. So let's get down into what we have for to go. All right, so I know you are seeing my screen. This is the final output of what I designed. And when I turn off this layer from the layers panel, the top one, it reveals the main design. But when you look from here, turn it on, turn it off, you can see the difference in it. So that is Camera Raw. If you seen any of my breakdown videos, you will notice that I use Camera Raw a lot to um make my design up at the end of the year when I'm done with everything I'm doing. So when I turn this thing off, this is the main stuff as you can see on the screen. And I'll turn off every other layer. So see, we're gonna take it gradually. Alright, so I think before I do that, I need to remove the layers that I did not use. Okay, turn this on, delete this. And is there any other layer? I don't think so. So I'm deleting it, I'm turning off the layer. And okay, I think I've not turned off some things. Yes. Let me select this, turn this off. So we are starting from scratch. As you can see, we're going to start from the background up to the final output that we have. And you, as we go on, you will discover that little details have a lot of difference that it makes on your design. Just little details you think that it does not matter. We have a very big change on it. So let's start from the first layer. This is the layer that's the base layer. That's the deep red. Then next is this. This is the base of what everything was designed on. And when I turn off my smart filter and these layer marks, you see this is how the background looks like. Just this. So what did I do? I use this to clean off here, and I added color balance to it because I wanted to bring in the red. I increased the red on the color balance. So when I was done with that, I duplicated the layer. But this time around, you discover that there's a difference between the two. One has a blur effect in it. And the reason why I needed to add this blur effect is to make sure that the edges are not too sharp. If they are just too sharp by that, is it's not going to give me that. If you notice, this is a shattered glass, and looking at it, it will just look like it's just there. It's an artificial glass, but that blur will give it. I was looking for a more uh, a camera motion, all this blur motion. If you are watching all this cinematic movie, that was what I was going for. So I duplicated the layer, then added the blur to it. Guys, added the blur layer from what you can see from here. All right. So I had to use if I'm correct, because I am now looking at some of the stuff that I did. I went to filter blur gallery and I did field blur. That was what I used. I used field blur for it, so that I can actually affect only the edge. When I double click on it here, you will see from this pin where I affected. If I drag this thing this way, you can see it's making some little changes. When I start moving it, you are seeing some little changes. Remember what I told you, that little details can add a lot or change the perspective of the particular design. So when I was on adding this blur effects on this, I duplicated this layer. And one thing you will notice is that if I turn off this layer max, you can see this is the old stuff from the field blur. When I bring this thing back on, I had to increase the the marks because I maxed it and cleaned what was in the middle to have this thing. So when I was done with it, I duplicated it again and added it on top and added a Gaussian blur. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that well. A Gaussian blur. Then from there, this Gaussian blur is to add more effects to it, as you can see right here. You see that it's not just an image that I just got and just stamped it in Photoshop. I had to, add some effects, work on it, and get to this level. So for my Gaussian blur, when I double click here, it should show me the value of the Gaussian blur that I added. All right, so you can see it's easy Gaussian blur. I added it. It's not showing me that, but you can see that it's a Gaussian blur from there. So next thing that we have here is this. Okay. After doing this, I started bringing in some images from I downloaded online using Whisk. I generated some AI images. Let me go to my downloads folder. So these are some of the images that I used to, you know, add it to that glass because I wanted the glass to have a more like a reflective image. It's as if those things are happening in the background that we are not seeing, but they are now reflecting on the glass. This is one of the image. Yeah. Next, I had to generate a lot of things. Wix is free. It's a free AI image generation tool. So you can use it. I generated some of these things. When I was done, I added this one first. But the reason why you are not going to see the full image is that I did not convert it to smart updates. So you won't be able to see the um the whole full image. We'll just get it here. I added it and I changed the blend mode to overlay. So the next thing that I have here is the image, this other one from what I've shown you before that I got the images for weeks. So I'll be stacking them, showing you one after the other. I changed the blend mode to screen. You can see this other one is screen. If I don't change them to screen, it's not going to blend so well to what I want. But you can see that the images are a bit too like you're not actually seeing the full effect of it, but all work, you discover that all the full effect of it is going to show very well. Then the next one is this image. Now I blended here, used my eraser tool to clean it off, and use screen to change the blend mode. Both this image, these two, and yes, you can see them. And because the theme was "Do not forsake your first love," something like that. And one of the things about the team is that it had a lot of prayer, Bible study, evangelism, and all of these things. So I needed to include them more like an element to reflect, more like a reflection of the design. And the next thing I added was this blur brush. I just used my brush, set the hardness to 0, and then pasted it on top of this. And from what you can see, it has already covered the that, but it was not enough because I wanted to stack different tones of it together. And I added another one, which was a bit bigger than what we have before. Are you seeing the changes right now? This is how it looks. This is how it is right now. After that, I duplicated it. But if you can see layer 2 copy, layer 2 copy 2. I added it on top of it. Different tones. If you notice, they are not the same. Their tones are different. And it's very necessary that the tones are not far away from each other so that it will not, you know, look like something that was just stacked on each other, but it will look like a light that is just radiating and moving uniform. The next thing that we have here is this layer of the art that is blur. And this is what I blurred. This is the image. But before I got this, because I needed to, let me just turn off the blur image. You can see it's just there. Remember I told you little details. This is one of the things I want you to, get from this breakdown that little details can mount up to become something that will make a very big difference in your design. So this is the blood version. But then what did I do on top of this main image? This is the art. I used Whisk to generate this art. I think I used generate a realistic art uh with a crown turn in the middle. It took me series of generation to get exactly this. And what did I do? Let me just turn off these effects and smart layer. This is how it looks like. Plain. You stand. This is how it looks like. Then added camera raw. This is camera raw to it. This is the first one that I added to it. Let me turn this one up and turn this one off. You can see this is the camera raw to it. Let me zoom in because I need you to see some things that I did on this image. From here, let me take out this contextual bar. Then I added another camera raw to it again. On that point, it's coming up slowly. Are you seeing the just subtle differences? Then added a color balance to it. You see it. You might not see the differences, you might not notice it, but you can see that it has changed. The bluish stuff that he had at the tone had has is gone. So from there I added outer blur. You see what it's going to do at the edge. Turn this on, turn this off. Okay. Now this is the outer glow. You can see. Remember that I told you that is showing more like something that is radiating, that is moving. So after that, I added an inner glow to it. So I didn't just come up with this thing once. It took, time testing, seeing what works well, seeing that it gives me what I really need from this. So the more I was tweaking it, the more I was getting more stuff from it. So you can see what the inner glow looks like. It's now making the fire look more realistic, unlike when it was not there. When it was not there, it was just there. You see it? But immediately I added the inner glow, everything was just set. That is all I did for the art, because this was the main focus of my design right here. Then let me just fit the screen. Then let's continue the layers. Then I added my logo at the top, the dates. The date is very simple. Let me go to transform Control T or Command T if you're using Mac. You can see that I converted it to smart objects to be able to use the perspective. But I used my control. I was holding the control and then clicked at the edge to change the stuff. You can see how it works because I wanted it to have this kind of effect on it. Then I added my social media handle from there. Jesus Christ is saying, take out this. I typed it overlay and then I duplicated the layer and added another one on top of it. I don't know why this thing keeps coming up here. You can see it and doubled it. From there, okay, think change it to center. So I want to be sure that it will the center. Alright. So after that, do not forsake. I didn't use this layer. So this is my team here. You can see it. For my team, I used street font, added inner glow, and where is it again? Alright. So look at it. Inner glow. Added made it yellow and added an inner glow. Let's look at what is in the inner glow. Inner glow with no noise. There was no noise on it. Once I was done, I brought the team to have a separate stuff from it. After that, I added a rectangle. Yeah. It might not really see the effect of it, but it's just there. And I added my explosive road drive, added prayer. Remember I told you that those images that I added, I wanted to put in text that will fit in. So what I actually did here was, for these letters that you see around the stuff, went online, typed fasting, text design, got out where they're written it, because I didn't want to start looking for fonts to change a whole lot of things. So I went there, got it, changed it to white, removed the background, changed the blend mode to overlay. When I changed it to overlay, I used my perspective, the same thing I did on the dates, and screwed it to fit in, to feel that, have that same perspective. When I was done with that, I grouped everything. Remember, I tell you, if you don't unlock your locks layers, you can't be able to group everything together. After grouping it, I added camera raw. You can see what the effects of the camera raw right now. They are like, it's it's a very big difference on the design. So then just go to my camera raw for you to see what I did do. So when I come on my camera raw, you can see there is noise. Oh God, I'm not seeing my effects again. Okay, yes. So this is my texture plus 5 clarity. This very important. I added going to it. Did I add anything else to it? No, I think I added my vibrance to it also, and a little exposure to it. So after doing everything, I arrived at this design. Right. I believe by now you could have gotten a glimpse of what I did here. You can implement this in your next design, and keep working on improving yourself. Thank you for watching to this extent if you stay to this level. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video to your friends who are into design also. And let's grow this community to 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye.